It's absolutely apptacular. The Subject Cinema Android app. Everything you need to be a rabid Subject Cinema fan. Subject Cinema, 3-Minute Weekend, Tuesday Digidex, and Front Row 5 and 10. All right at your fingertips and available instantly. Plus, email and voicemail links, Facebook and Twitter hookups, Patreon support specials, and more is coming real soon. Don't just listen, app it. The all-in-one Subject Cinema podcast app. Android version available now at Google Play or on PNR Network websites. Amazon and iPhone apps coming soon. Don't delay. Download today.
Blueberry. This podcast is a member of the Blueberry Network. Blueberry. No E's. That's Blueberry, BLUBRRY.com. Blueberry.com.
This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.
Honestly, I think you get sick every year at this time just so you have an excuse to take an extra week or two with your movies.
I think that's very mean of you.
Well, I just really, it happens every year.
Like, I deliberately want to have...
At least I wait till the first week of January to get down sick with my death of my cold, like I've done the last 3 years.
Like, I want to be feeling like I have a brick in my chest and my voice is only recently not sounding like a squeaky toy.
Oh, sure. Whatever. We got a whole bunch of stuff to catch up on. This show is devoted to one particular thing because she demanded it. We'll be talking about the film, the controversies, the castings, and everything else surrounding Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Right here, right now. I'm T.C. Kirkham.
I'm Kim Brown.
Let's head off with the Force.
This week on Subject Cinema.
Stand by to receive our transmission.
This town needs an enema.
Celebrating a decade of film podcasting. Lasting out of Beantown, USA, you're tuned into Subject Cinema with T.C. Kirkham and Kim Brown. Directive.
Oh, behave. Yeah.
I volunteer as tribute.
Suppose you run your business and let me run mine. Here's looking at you, kid.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome TC and Kim.
Not going to cough anymore. Going to stop it. Everything stopped.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm doing my best.
Welcome to Subject Cinema. I'm T.C. Kirkham.
Hi, I'm Kim Brown.
Subject Cinema number 593, day and date, Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2017.
Yep.
We missed last week because Kim got sick.
Yeah.
We went to the show to see The Last Jedi with friends on the 19th. By the end of the day on the 20th, she was hacking up a lung, losing her voice. Last Sunday, she couldn't even talk. She missed 3 days of work.
Yep.
What am I going to do with you every year?
People around us at work have been ill. It's the time of year when everybody's ill.
I was sick, too. We had a terrible day on Thursday.
Yeah.
It ended up with us not getting home until almost 9 o'clock in the evening, which is the latest we've ever done. It was my fault because I had to go to the bathroom and we missed our bus and it set off a whole chain of events and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
So.
But, life goes on, as they say.
They say? Who's they?
The same people that put up those signs that say, "You're here."
Oh, okay.
That they.
No matter where you are, there you are.
It's
no matter where, well, how's that go?
No matter where you go,
there you are. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mike Brady in our generation, but originally from some other movie.
I don't know.
Back in the 50s. I just found out for the first time the other day. So how was your week?
Oh, great. Let's see. I had so much to do. Let me go over my social calendar for the week. Yes, let's see. Oh, that's right. Hacking, wheezing, coughing, sniffing, snorting, feeling miserable.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
And hosting a one-woman pity party. Hooray! Let's hear it for bacteria.
What's the title of it?
This sucks. That sucks.
That's a terrible title. That's a terrible title.
Well, you can't say she
Sadness,
sucks.
the one-woman show.
You can't say she sucks because that would be an entirely different show. And you'd hope it wouldn't be a one-person show either.
Going there.
All right, we're going to, we'll just...
No, seriously, it started off bad, and then we ended with this horrible ice storm. Our Christmas presents got screwed up.
Yeah.
Because we decided not to get any, like, little things. We decided we'd go in together and get ourselves something nice for Christmas because we can't afford to do much else. And half the stuff didn't arrive on time. We got the system, and we got one of the controllers, and we got a game. So we bought ourselves a new PlayStation 4 because our old one broke a few years ago, and got a good deal on it. But we didn't get the second controller yet, and we haven't got one of the games yet. So,
yeah.
But we have enough to play around with, and so it'll be fun. And I can't wait to set it up tomorrow night.
Can I bring up the most important thing that we have at Christmas?
Well, we're going to talk about Christmas a little bit later.
Yeah. But the most important thing...
So she goes ahead and does it anyway. Okay, go ahead.
No, the most important thing that we have, our sanity, which I think some people...
We have no sanity. What are you talking about?
We have what passes for sanity.
No, we can fake sanity. That's not the same thing as having passed for what we have passing for sanity.
Yeah.
Believe me, right now I'm quite not sane. I'm juggling 4 different projects for the website, plus work, plus finances, plus everything else. I'm going insane!
Well, it's nice that we solved that problem.
All right, enough small talk. It's what we've been waiting for. We made you wait an extra week because hacky sack over here, and and it's her baby. So let's go. Let's head to the main screen for the biggest movie of the year.
The main screen.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Who are you? I'm no one.
She is strong with the Force. Untrained, but stronger than she knows.
Bring her to me.
Something inside me has always been there. But now it's awake. And I need help.
I've seen this raw strength only once before.
So if you haven't heard the news so far, there's this little Star Wars thing out again. And it's like big, not little. It's big. It's big! Like Benny Hill used to say.
Yep.
It's the ongoing story of the cast of characters that inhabit the original universe and where they're going now. An all-star cast of up-and-comers and headed up by the 2 originals still there, Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher. This is Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Give us the rundown.
Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, is continuing on with the story that we were dealing with in Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Although we don't start right where they said we were going to start, which kind of irked me from the get-go, they had said that they were going to start Star Wars The Last Jedi at where they had left off The Force Awakens, with Rey finding Luke Skywalker, who is on this distant planet called Arcto. That's not how you say it.
That's how I say it.
But that's not where we started. We started with the fighters of the Resistance, who are led by General Organa, having to evacuate their base because they have been found by the fleet of the evil First Order. There's a counterattack led by Poe Dameron, which is... I I wouldn't call it successful, because successful is everybody on the other side gets wiped out. I mean, it's effective. It's also a suicide mission for most people, unfortunately, as the Resistance loses a lot of their personnel and quite a few ships. The Resistance fighters jump into hyperspace to get away from the First Order, but the Order is able to pursue them because they are using a tracking device that enables them to pursue the fleeing ships through hyperspace. I'm not entirely sure how that's possible, but I slept through most of science class. So,
well, since there really isn't anything like hyperspace that's been utilized yet, you didn't really miss anything in science class. That's purely science fiction.
Yeah, that's true.
It won't be someday, but you know.
The First Order troops led by Kylo Ren, who is Leia's son and murderer of his father, Han Solo, traitorous little weasel bastard.
Nobody understands me.
Yeah, emo bitch. Wind up destroying most of the support fighters and also medical ships and other non-fighter ships, ships that weren't shooting back or anything, because the First Order are miserable, evil bastards, in case you hadn't figured that out. Kylo doesn't fire on his mother's ship, though, because he knows his mother is there. And his finger is on the button, but he does stop himself from firing on the woman that gave him life.
No. I don't think he did stop himself, but we'll get into that. Go on.
He took his finger... Well, all right, okay. The other fighters do come in and start shooting at the ship, and Leia winds up incapacitated, and another person has to take over in her place, a Vice Admiral Holdo, whose strategy is basically run.
Cut and run.
Run and keep running. Which doesn't sit well with Poe Dameron, a mostly recovered Finn, BB-8, and a young woman named Rose Tico, who winds up helping them, albeit a bit reluctantly at first, but helping them to try and find a code breaker to get onto the First Order ship, screw up the tracking device so that the First Order can't keep catching up with the Resistance fighters, and they can get to a base and, recoup and recover and stuff like that.
Hide out so they can regroup and come back. Fighting.
Right. While all this is going on, Rey is on this distant planet.
Achoo.
Would you knock it the hell off?
Nope. Names are not the Star Wars strong suit in this trilogy. I'll go into that in a minute. Anyway.
And she has found Luke Skywalker. And Luke is not the Luke that we remember.
Or the Luke that Mark Hamill remembers either.
No. Luke is a broken... God, I hate using this word. Oh, God, I hate myself right now. Bitter shell of a man who has come to this faraway planet and left behind the life that he knew, the life as a Jedi Master, to die. He's come to this planet to die alone because he feels that his greatest failure unleashed the evil that's plaguing the galaxy right now. He was the one who was training, at the time, Ben Solo to become a Jedi, but Ben was swayed to the dark side by Supreme Leader Snoke and became Kylo Ren. Luke feels that the ways of the Jedi should be forgotten and fade into the mists of time, and he tells Rey that he's not coming back. Even though she's come all this way to find him, he feels like him coming back now is not what the galaxy needs. That what the galaxy needs is that the time for the Jedi to end.
Is that where we're stopping?
And the story continues on from there, and you just have to see it for yourself.
With Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, Carrie Fisher as General Leia Organa, Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, Daisy Ridley as Rey, John Boyega as Finn, Oscar Isaac as Poe Dameron, Andy Serkis as Supreme Commander Snoke, Lupita Nyong'o in what is a cameo in this film as Maz Kanata, Don Mel Gleeson as General Hux, Anthony Daniels as C-3PO, Gwendolyn Christie as Captain Phasma, Kelly Marie Tran as Rose Tico, Laura Dern as Vice Admiral Holdo, Benicio del Toro as DJ, Billy Lord as Lieutenant Kano, with an appearance in voice form, I guess, and also probably working the old Muppet. Frank Oz as Yoda, and quite a few other people in there that I'm not going to get into because there's so many people. And voice cameo by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and possible cameos that may or may not have been cut by Tom Hardy and the Princes of Wales. So we're going to forget all that, talk about that later. Now, before I ask you what you think of this, let me go ahead and say what I'm talking about. I do not for 1 second believe Kylo Ren took his own thumb off that button. Leia forced that with the Force. It was very evident he did not want to remove his thumb from that trigger
firing device.
Yeah. Leia was influencing that. I thought that from the second we saw it. She's like, oh, she's a Kylie old one, isn't she? She knows he's there. They can feel each other through the Force. So that's that. What else did I say I was going to comment on? Oh, the name thing. It started last time with Maz Kanata, which is the name of a song from Quincy Jones in the Sergio Mendes in the 1960s. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in this film for 2 or 3 seconds as a voice. He voices a character called Slow and Low. Slow and Low, or Low and Slow. Come on, really? Could we get some creative names like the first 3 movies had, and the prequels had? Because the names in these movies have just sucked. I mean, they really have. They're such bad puns. Anyway, that out of the way. You've been waiting all year for this. You've been terrified since you heard about the title. You've been terrified without seeing the trailer, but you heard it. What was your opinion?
It's another chapter of the story.
We're not going to give spoilers out as little as possible, but be aware there may be certain plot points revealed during the review.
Mm-hmm. It's another chapter of the story, and there are parts of this film that are incredibly powerful, and there are parts of this film that are incredibly beautiful.
And there are parts of this film that are incredibly ridiculous. But we'll talk about that when I talk about the film.
The thing is, when you have a story like this, and you have a sprawling universe like this, not every chapter is going to end the way you want it to.
No, it's not.
Not every story has a happy ending.
Right.
And
well, there's no ending because the movie doesn't. This is part 2 of the trilogy, so there's no real ending.
No, there is no ending. There is also no cliffhanger, which I know a lot of people.
I don't agree with that. There are cliffhangers, but they're small ones, not like the big one. There are
many cliffhangers. Right. There isn't some big, gigantic, in-your-face cliffhanger
like last time.
Yeah.
The closing shot of Force Awakens is the best shot in Star Wars history, as far as I'm concerned. Brilliantly done. This one doesn't have that. There's a few things, but it doesn't have that.
The last shot of this film is it's funny because the last shot of this film is the first film. The last shot of this film is the title of the first film way back in the 70s, A New Hope.
Mm.
It really is. If you sit back and look at it, you go, oh yeah, oh I see what she means.
Okay.
There's a lot of I know we're critics, and we're supposed to be able to be objective and all that other...
Critics can be objective and still be emotional.
There's all the film critic stuff.
You can't be critical when it comes to Star Wars.
No, I can't.
This is her baby.
No, I can't.
Right.
I am a Star Wars fan first.
I know.
And I am everything else second.
Right.
This movie had me in so many conflicted places and so many conflicted feelings and so many feelings that I didn't want to think about. It went places that I was like, what are you saying? What specifically? Oh, screw it. I was going to use, I'm sorry, I caught myself. I almost used a very bad word. It's about Luke. It all boils down to Luke for me.
Well, that's because you were going to marry him when you were 7.
Yeah. Luke Skywalker was the first time I ever looked at a man and was like, wow. You know.
You should have seen her at the theater.
That was just...
She was... the whole movie.
Thanks.
Not literally.
Thanks a lot.
In your head, though. I could pick it up. It was in your head.
Well,
I don't mean literally. You were sitting there doing that.
No, I was sitting there being so still. I think a few times you were like, is she breathing?
No, you were grabbing and breaking my hand in a few places, too.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that. I haven't apologized about that. I'm sorry. But there's parts where Luke is talking about the way he feels and what he's been through and the weight of the regret that he feels. It's so crushing. You can feel that as an audience member. And that's down to Mark Hamill's acting, because he's just so good in this movie. And there were parts of that I was sitting there going, why are you saying these things? You can't mean these things. You please don't feel that way. You have
to see, you're seeing that from a fangirl point of view. You're not thinking that from the character's point of view, who has been through hell and self-torture. Of course he's going to feel that way.
I know. Well, it's my whole
I
thing.
have to keep rain on the fangirl somewhere.
Well, that's the whole thing of this. I'm sitting there going, this is someone I care about, and they're in pain. Mm-hmm. And this hurts. Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's, there were other things, though, that were kind of, I was like, okay. There were other things that definitely I was like, all right, you can sit there and go, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And I called everything. I didn't call it out loud, because I don't talk during movies if I can help it. That's rude.
We whisper occasionally when necessary.
But I was sitting there thinking to myself, okay, this is going to happen. That's going to go there. That's going to blow up.
Yeah, but you said yourself, you had a couple of moments that completely shocked you.
Yeah.
Like we did. We completely misread one character, and a couple of them. And so it's like, okay.
Yeah, one character I would like to bring up I did not misread was Benicio del Toro's character. Just like to bring that up.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's going to happen. And there it is. It's a real big testament to actors, though, when you sit there and your hand starts to itch from how badly you want to bitch slap somebody. Because I really do. I think that's a testament to how good an actor is if they make you want to pick up a chair and smash them in the face with it.
So who were you wanting to bitch slap? Kylo Ren or Commander, what's his name?
Kylo I wanted to like punch a hole through his chest and rip his heart out since he killed Han. No, the one I want to hit in the face with a chair is Domhnall Gleeson's Colonel Hux. He is such a complete General Hux, I should say. And it's such a testament to Domhnall because, and I know I'm screwing your name up, and I'm so sorry.
I think it's Domhnall.
Domhnall. I know I'm messing it up. I'm so sorry. Because he's a great actor, and from what I've seen of him in interviews, He's such a lovely, warm, wonderful, nice person. And I'm sure he's good to animals and kind to small children and good to his parents. Mm-hmm. This is called CYA, kids. But, little lesson from your Auntie Kim. But, oh my God in heaven, I want to smash him with a chair. He's such a weaselly, slimy, I can't use that word because you'll bleep me. He's such a backstabbing, cringing, sycophantic little son of an unnamed goat that I hate him. And he's so good at it. He's so good at making me hate him. So, big kudos to him. It is definitely a film that a Star Wars fan shouldn't miss, but there are
some people who don't agree with you on that. We'll be talking about that later.
There are some people who have that opinion because they're looking at storylines and stuff like that. There are some people who have that opinion because they're like, ew, girls.
Yeah, we'll talk about those too.
And those people can suck my...
Hold it for the freeze frame segment. Anyway.
Obviously, the thing that makes this film doubly sad is knowing that, that Carrie Fisher's no longer on this plane of existence, and that's very sad, and makes me very sad. And I love the tribute they did at the end for her. I thought it was beautiful and understatedly tasteful and really well done. And to solve the mystery, and before you even ask, before the end, by the end of this movie, I was awash in tears.
That started about halfway through the movie.
Yeah, spent most of the ride home giving clipped one-word responses to things because I was trying not to.
Because our friend Stacy was doing her usual bitching about things.
Yeah, I was trying not to cry again because we were outside and it's really cold, and crying
when we got home it was a mess. Anyway.
Yeah, crying when you're really cold is a bad idea. And also because I didn't want to turn into a shrieking banshee because she's driving. Because she was driving. And I came home and cried for an hour.
She's not lying.
No, I'm not.
Wasn't that long, but it was a lengthy period of time.
It was a while.
Yeah.
It was a long while.
Yep.
It's moving. I mean, it's a moving film. It's a film about duty and honor and trying to make up for past mistakes, learning not to crucify yourself for things that you did wrong, or trying to learn from those things and trying to fix them. It's got something in it for everybody, and it's also got porgs. And in case I haven't mentioned it, I want a porg.
Porgs, the other white meat.
You're such a dick.
What?
You're such a dick.
Wait, stop saying that. Family show.
Fine. You're such a Harold.
Okay, fine.
You're such a Tristan.
Is it my turn now?
Yes.
Okay. Last Jedi is a great film. It's not a super great film, but it is a great film. It adds into the Star Wars continuity, but it does have a few problems. Number one, it's 45 minutes too long. Rian Johnson, director, writer, one
of our favorite directors.
Who did Brick and a number of other things we love. It's just like, there is so much extraneous space battle in this film that it easily could have excised 30 to 40 minutes without interrupting the flow of the story at all. I really think they've over-padded it here. The look of the film is utterly gorgeous. I mean, it is beautiful no matter where they are. And I'm just going to dip down here into the credit. Well, I was going to dip down in the credits. Steve Yedlin is the cinematographer on this film, and he did a magnificent job. Especially on the final world where all the penultimate action takes place with the red soil underneath the white, which actually turns out to be salt. Not snow.
Crate.
Huh?
Crate.
Crate.
Crate?
Crate?
C-R-A-I-T. I'm not sure how you pronounce that.
I don't remember how they said it in the film, but it's really something.
And those little shiny fox things.
Yeah, those are really nice too.
Yeah.
However, I don't really have a problem with the porgs. I just do that to get her goat because she thinks it's so wrong. But then again, they are kind of extraneous to the story. I mean, people are like, well, they play a big part. No, they don't. They're just kind of a distraction. They don't really play.
Birds. They're this.
But no, I'm saying there are people that say they actually play a part in the plot line. I'm like, no they don't. They're just extraneous distractions.
They're that planet's birds.
They're deliberately made super cute so they can sell toys. That's basically what that is. They're
birds are cute.
And like I said, they're the other white meat, which Chewbacca never got to have a meal with them. Anyway, of one sort or another. There's also...
You're sick.
I have to say, though, that the star of these films so far is not the Jedi side. It's Adam Driver. Adam Driver is an amazing actor, and he has made me a huge fan. Not just playing Kylo Ren, but in other parts I've seen him in since then. He is an amazing actor who really takes that character and makes him very tortured, very, compelled. We joke about emo Kylo Ren and his antics and the Twitter followers that he has under that name, but not him, but somebody else. And it's funny, but he does play that character exquisitely. There's just a lot of terrific stuff there. I have no problem with Daisy Ridley. She's awesome too as Rey. And of course we get the final performance from Carrie Fisher here. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do this because one of the small cliffhangers they left with had, she was a big part of it. So, and they've already said they're not using her in number 3, not going to create her digitally or anything.
No.
There's other things going on, and the ending is very gut-wrenching, even for just a casual fan like me. But I am starting to slowly really get sick of Poe Dameron. I don't like this character. He was fine in the first film. Here, he's an obnoxious jerk. He's taken Han Solo and upped it by 40%. Han is funny because he is Han. Poe is just Poe, and he's annoying. There's at least 3/4 of this film, he's annoying.
I'd like to bring up somebody else real super quick.
Mm-hmm.
I know you probably were going to as well. Kelly Marie Tran.
I was just getting to her.
Yeah.
Kelly Marie Tran is a great addition to the film.
Please keep an eye on her.
She's been around for a while in other parts, and people don't really know her that she's done other films and TV. As Rose, she and John Boyega make a tremendously good team. And that's another one of the cliffhangers, by the way.
Yeah, it's kind of a love.
You might be headed for a love triangle. We're not sure yet.
I don't think it's a love triangle. I think it's like a love. I don't know what you call it.
It's a triple crush triangle.
It's kind of a she loves her, but he loves her, and they love him, and
she loves me, and aren't we all together in this happy family?
It's like snakes playing Twister.
Anyway,
whoa.
She's great. John Williams' score is always terrific. There, like I said, it does have its problems. It really, to me, the biggest problem is it's overlong. They could have concisely cut all these extraneous space things out. They could have cut some of the casino stuff out without having to compromise stuff, and it would have made a better film if it was shrunk by about an hour, about at 30 to 40 minutes, without so much crap going on. So they stuck strictly on story. But overall, it's an entertaining film. Star Wars fans are going to love it, unless you hate it, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. Most Star Wars fans that aren't like basement dwelling, always annoying toady trolls.
I was going to use a word, but I'm like, I don't know if I should use that
Trolls
word.
are liking, that's the word I'm going to use, like the film. And it has gotten a massive A from CinemaScore. And, of course, there's a big controversy about what's going on over on Rotten Tomatoes, but we'll talk about that, too, in a minute. Overall, it's a great addition to Star Wars canon, and I can't wait to see where it's going to go when they come up with the third film. J.J. Abrams back in the director's chair again. What's your score?
I give it an A-.
I give it an A- as well. Star Wars The Last Jedi is playing everywhere, often in more than one theater at your local multiplex. And at this point, it's probably playing on Pluto and Saturn and Alpha Centauri and everywhere else. Don't miss it while it's there.
Real movies for real people. Subject Cinema.
PNR Network shows depend on our listeners. It's you that makes us who we are. Help us bring you all the best we can. Become a Patreon patron. Donations start at just $2 a month, and the more patrons we can get, the more we'll be able to offer. You can get great perks, plus exclusive blogs and podcasts available only for being a patron as well. It's absolutely fantastic. So please, become a Patreon patron today. We need you. Patreon.com/PNRNetworks.
If you're looking for great films, well, that's okay. You'll like us anyway. Subject Cinema.
Okay, we talked about the good stuff about The Last Jedi. Now let's get to the ridiculous stuff. The tinfoil hat wearing stuff that we have been waiting to talk about. There are two things that are driving people crazy. Number one, there is an online petition to wipe The Last Jedi from the official Star Wars canon because the fanboys in charge of the, who think they're in charge of the storylines don't like the storylines of The Last Jedi and want it removed, period. Then there's another guy who's claiming to use bots that have shrunk The Last Jedi's audience score just a week or two after I said this is what your most dependable thing is, to 55%. They've not completely, it started at 41%. So they are overcoming that slowly. But if it's true, and Rotten Tomatoes swears that there's no bot involved. They said, we didn't find a bot going, but these guys are clever. Some of these guys are really clever, and I wouldn't put it past them.
No.
The trick is you've got to be able to, they've got to come up with a bot detector to stop that kind of stuff. But they're basically just upset fanboys who didn't get the story they wanted, and so they're determined to piss everybody off, to screw around with things. Mm-hmm. This is just sour grapes. Okay. Right?
Yeah, I think
this
so.
This is what she wants to go off on, so let's...
Kim's
Soapbox.
Well, this isn't going to be Kim's Soapbox, unlike Kim's other soapbox, PlatinumRoseGarden.com, where you can go listen...
Did you go off on that already? No, you haven't had a chance to yet.
No.
Oh, that's going to be when she comes back in January. That's going to be fun. Anyway.
Yeah, that will be a lot more sweary.
Filthy.
Yeah. There will be a lot of bad words in that. So, set your dials.
Be prepared. That'll be coming back in mid-January. Anyway.
Set your dials for that. Yep. Change.org, which is a petition site, you can put up... Now, the thing about Change...
You can put anything on Change.org.
You can put a petition up about anything. You can put a very serious petition up if you wanted to about, we, the undersigned, think that fill in the blank is doing a terrible job of
getting rid of the Obama tax, getting rid of the Obamacare is not a good idea.
Yeah,
for a political one.
No.
Or you can do one. We want to see so and so as the new head of the Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah, you could be. So such and such is a terrible president of not even a country. You could do so and so as a terrible president of BigComCorp.com or whatever, and needs to be bounced out on their ear immediately. Mm-hmm. Or you can do a completely silly one, saying that you would like to have Rowan Atkinson as the next James Bond. This is not a suggestion for a petition.
Ooh, I like that.
Anyway, a bunch of people put up
better
a petition.
Than Idris Elba. Sorry, just got to say it.
Could we not?
I did. Anyway.
A person put up a petition on Change.org saying that they want Disney, who now owns Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Oh, every time I say that, a little piece of me dies. That they want Disney, who owns Star Wars, to completely excise The Last Jedi from canon because they feel it doesn't represent Star Wars, and how dare they make this movie, and blah, 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 blah.
Exclamation point.
Basically, what they're doing is saying, no, it's not fair, it's not fair. We didn't get what we wanted, so we're going to stamp our feet and hold our breath until we turn blue, until you give us our way.
Until our moms bring dinner down to the basement where we're playing around on the internet and clicking away at the keyboard, doing evil things.
Pretty much what they're saying is, it's not fair. I want everybody to get very close to your speaker right now, okay? Because I'm going to
You have been dealing with this on your show, but on a different subject entirely that's strictly with supernatural, so it's like, okay.
Because Auntie Kim is going to Auntie Kim is going to reach out into the ether
and touch you
and and clasp the scaly clawed hand of her spirit animal, and Godzilla and I are going to explain to you a universal truth. Are you ready? Life isn't fair.
That's it? That's such a letdown.
If life were fair, every person on this planet would have a warm place to sleep tonight and a roof over their head and the chance of a decent education. If life were fair, there would be no more war or poverty or struggle or disease.
And laws would be applied equally to both sexes and all races.
Yes.
Something else that's not happening a lot these days.
If life were fair, I would be 6'4" and blonde and have a double D chest. But
you'd look like Ilsa of the SS? I don't think so.
All right, fine. I'll just settle for the 6'4" blonde part. Actually, if life were fair, I would look like Gal Gadot, but life isn't fair. And that's why I would look like Gal Gadot.
Sorry.
But life isn't fair. And life doesn't have a reset button. This is not your friggin' Xbox. This is the real world. And if you don't like a movie, you go, you know what? I didn't like that one. Let's hope the next one's better.
Well, you just tell people that you don't like it. You can tell people you don't like it.
You don't like it.
You don't have to act like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't like the movie, you tell people, I didn't like the movie. You tell people, I don't feel like it really added anything to the grand tapestry of the Star Wars universe. Hell,
well, see, that can't. The problem with that is that won't back out what they don't like.
Hell, you can tell people, don't go see it. You can organize a boycott.
Yeah.
If you feel that stressful about it. You
God,
can't.
Don't give them any more ideas, please.
You can't act like it didn't happen.
And this is coming from a true, lifelong Warzy. Which I'm sure some of them won't accept because, well, hell, you're just a girl.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to get to you. Oh, me and my spirit animal are charging up for that one.
That's another one that's been bothering people, is that they don't like the way the storylines are going. They don't like the fact that women are in charge anymore.
Okay. Well, actually, you know what? Screw it. We're going to get to that now.
Okay.
There is this group of people, and this crap has been going on since The Force Awakens. Sorry.
Yeah, it has.
Because of
and
all
Rogue
these...
One. Rogue One got a lot of flack for the same thing.
Yeah, and Rogue One.
Rogue One, which is, in my opinion, the best Star Wars film ever. So it's like, okay.
I would agree with you, actually. There were all these people whose... I can't use that word because I will get in trouble. There were all these guys whose testes were in a twist because The Force Awakens dared to have a character like Rey. And these guys blew an even bigger nut because Rogue One had Jyn Erso. You had...
And now they're doing the same thing over Rey and Leia and Commander, what's her name? Laura Dern's character.
Laura Dern's character.
Oh my God, they're going
and Rose.
And Rose, yeah. Well, no, Rose isn't so much female as it is racial. People have been having fits that, oh my God, there's an Asian in Star Wars.
Yeah, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Please! And to her credit, Kelly Marie Tran has been Just like, oh, that's nice. I hope you like the new movie on her Twitter. She's freaking handling it beautifully.
These people who are absolutely horrified at the idea that you can have a strong, smart, capable, emotional, real female character.
Yeah. Rose is 100% real. So is Ray, actually. They're all that way.
To the people who have a problem with this, F you.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
To the people who have a problem with the fact that there are people of color in the Star Wars universe, F
There have been people.
you.
There have been people of color in the Star Wars universe since the Cantina Band scene in The New Hope.
Uh-huh.
Come on, people. Do you think aliens don't qualify for that or something? It's just human characters? If you think that, this is mostly probably aimed at the alt-right people. If you honestly think that, you are seek help, okay?
If you think that,
I mean, you got the guy with the long neck and the big googly eyes isn't different from the black kid in the Stormtrooper suit.
Oh, it's okay to have.
Really?
No, according to these people, apparently, according to these people, looking like a walrus. But looking like a bipedal walrus,
that's
or
Admiral
something.
Akbar, right?
No, he's more of a fish.
Oh, okay.
No, that was one,
one
of the characters in the cantina scene.
Okay,
looking like that is okay, but if you have an African American person in a science fiction movie, oh my God, it's the end of civilization as we know it.
Honest to criminy, I've never seen where this stuff comes from. And it's just so ridiculous.
You know why? Because we don't hang out with people like that.
Well, that's true. But we don't hang
out with bigots. If I can avoid it, I don't.
No, that's true. And that's exactly what
because
they are.
Because people like that know not to be around me because I bite. Hard.
I'm trying to formulate a thought here. The crowd that surrounds this kind of stuff is not the crowd or circles that we hang out with. But we don't hang out with anybody special either.
No.
We have a number of friends who happen to be gay. We have a number of friends who happen to be different ethnicity. And it doesn't bother us in the least. It doesn't bother them that we happen to be kind of chunky, pasty white people. Oh. And there's nothing wrong with that either.
If it doesn't bother
We're
them,
obviously drawn together by our love of film, our love of television, our love of games, our love of the internet, or our love of music.
If it doesn't bother them that I have the color of someone that just came out of a freshly dug grave, it doesn't bother me.
Well, you're not quite Vampira, but you're close.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I had a waist like that. But anyway, I mean,
I think you're that sexy.
You're sweet. For all these people that are out there saying all of this truly hateful crap, shut up! You are not.
Oh, shouldn't we be quoting Marina here? Oh, shut up!
The problem is, you people are the ones that make all of science fiction fans and all fantasy fans look bad. Because when people people do the stereotypical overweight, glasses wearing, living in mom's basement, rude, pretentious, whiny, sexist characters on TV, that's
the ones they call neckbeards.
Yeah, that's because of people like you.
Yeah.
You make all the rest of us look bad. And the
sad thing is, there are not that many of them out there. They're in the minority, the extreme minority.
They're in the extreme minority, but the problem is they're loud.
Yeah, they are, and they are also very good at hacking. Most of them. That's a stereotype, possibly, but they are portrayed as being very good at hacking. And one of them is claimed to hack Rotten Tomatoes audience meter vote. Rotten Tomatoes says it's not happening, but it is. I mean, I haven't heard a single bad word from anybody we know that's seen this film, and yet the audience reaction is 55%. Mm-hmm. So something is going on, and it's happening at Metacritic, and it's happening wherever the fans are allowed to rate it. It's happening.
And I can speak on this because this has happened to me.
Uh-oh.
The whole idea that, and I know a lot of people out there might be like, oh, wow, this whole thing about science fiction being like a girls not allowed club and stuff like that. you know what? The reason that has changed and stuff like that is because there are a lot of girls that went into comic stores back in the 80s and back in the 90s and didn't care that we got stared at. So girls that can do that now and not have to worry about that stuff, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And you know what? If the fact that we did it first and you can do it now, I'm happy for you. Go out there and be a girl geek as loud as you want, because I think that's awesome. And any guy that tells you that you can't, tells you to leave, tells you to move, you stand there and you plant your feet and you look them dead in the eye and you say, no, you move. And I'll bet you what? I'll bet you 9 times out of 10, they will.
With some extra pressure.
Because people like that are bullies, and bullies will back down if you stand up and say, no more. I am not putting up with your crap. You don't get to tell me that I can't be here because I'm a woman, or because I'm a person of color, or because I'm gay, or because I'm Muslim, or because I'm anything that's different from you, because you feel threatened. You feel threatened, not my problem. And you know what? It's not your problem either.
The aforementioned soapbox was not meant to be an advice column, and please be careful when you're actually dealing with these people.
Please be careful when you're dealing with anybody. Don't do something crazy.
All right, we got that out of the way.
Unfortunately, you're not a real Jedi, and lightsabers aren't real yet.
Let's move on for a second, because we do need to bring this up too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The other big entertainment story right now, the Disney-Fox merger. Everybody's been talking about this because Disney will gain control of most of the Fox properties, which include now everything in Marvel except Spider-Man, which Sony still owns the right to. What is going to happen with this, and will they continue? People are scared to death that they're going to lose the R-rated Deadpools.
That's what I'm doing. I'm sitting here trying to picture Deadpool in Mickey Mouse ears. And it makes me want to just hurt myself.
Yes, but, we have to remember, people don't remember.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point with
Disney has released R-rated films before. They were the owners of Miramax after Harvey and Bob Weinstein sold them the studio. They released Pulp Fiction. They released a whole bunch of other films. Yeah. So it is possible. And with Fox Searchlight, and FXM coming over, it should be interesting to see what happens. A lot of people are thinking this is great. It means X-Men will be integrated into the universe, and so will the Fantastic Four. Maybe somebody will actually do it right this time. I think I would urge them.
I don't think so.
I would urge them to wait at least a decade before they go back to Fantastic Four.
And not another origin story.
Yeah, do it the way they did it with I don't know, that didn't work either. Justice League wasn't exactly great in that
No, but
department.
Spider-Man Homecoming was, from what everybody said.
And there's people who think it was overridden, but overrated, I mean. There's just, now that Disney and Fox are going to be working together on this stuff, is it going to have a huge impact? Do you think Disney will tend to be hands-off on the Fox properties?
If they're smart, they will.
I don't think so. I think if they're smart, they won't. Because everyone has complained for years that X-Men and Fantastic Four are the weak links in the Marvel Universe.
Well, I mean the watering down and Disneyfying.
Oh, well, yeah. I don't think that'll happen anyway. So.
Well, I would like to see the X-Men brought into the Marvel movie universe. If for nothing else, just because it'll just make things feel like cohesive, it'll be a cohesive feel.
Yeah.
Do I think that's going to happen? I don't know. It would be nice, but it could also cause some big problems, because Disney's whole thing is going to be, don't sue. I mean, as much as Disney is the happiest place on earth and it's a small world, and blah, blah, you know.
Those who've seen Escape from Tomorrow don't think that. Anyway.
You know, blah, blah, blah. You know, mouse ears, peace and love and all that. You know, it's all like...
Ice cream and a hug thing.
Yeah, it's... The bottom line is money. You know, Disney wants to make money. Disney did this and bought this company to make more money.
Right.
They're going to look at a character like Logan and be like, well, we need to bring him back. You know, because a new Wolverine movie, we can put Wolverine in the Marvel universe, and, you know, that will generate more money and stuff like that. There's a tiny problem with that if you saw Logan. You know,
yeah, but that's set in the far future.
That is set in the future, but they're not going to be able to bring back Hugh Jackman. That's not going to work.
No, Hugh isn't coming back, but they've already recast the Logan role for an Marvel audio production.
Right.
So it's possible that could happen.
Yeah, but the thing is, if they bring Logan back and, you know, put Logan in that universe and all that, is that going to change the universe that's already happened in the Logan film? I mean, this is all time travel.
Well, that was an alternative timeline anyway, so we don't know what really is going on there.
Oh, Lord, no, please.
They have a chance to do this. They have three X-Men movies coming out in the next year. They have the second Deadpool movie, which is loosely tied to the X-Men universe. They have
the Dark Phoenix.
That's not the one I'm looking for, though. The first one. New Mutants, and Dark Phoenix coming out. Now,
New Mutants, which is being touted as a horror movie.
But it is attached to the X-Men.
Yeah,
They
made
it clear, but it is being played as a straightforward horror film. And then they have Dark Phoenix, which picks up where Apocalypse left off, and will bring the Phoenix Saga all the way around, even though we played with it already in X2 slightly.
Good luck.
And brings back a great cast of younger performers playing the characters, including Sophie Turner, Ty Sheridan, Cody Smith-McPhee, and a lot of great young performers playing these characters who have been played older. What do you mean?
Well, comic nerd alert here. The Dark Phoenix Saga, when it was in the comics, the X-Men were the X-Men. Grown-ups, adults. And it took a long time.
Right, but the X-Men universe has never correlated to the comics except in the characters. The closest they came was Days of Future Past. And it was interesting to see that they've integrated now since we could talk on this forever. The X-Men universe is incredibly complicated on its own because of what happened. They did the first 3 films and the first Wolverine movie, and it was all continuous. And then they're like, well, let's reboot this, because the third one bombed, and the Origins Wolverine bombed, and let's reboot this. So they came up with X-Men First Class, which was set in the early 60s. It brought James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender in as Professor X and Magneto. And then somewhere along the line, somebody went, hey, let's combine the 2 universes. These guys can be the younger versions of these guys. This gave birth to Days of Future Past, and the X-Men universe has been overly convoluted ever since.
Yeah.
So now we've got movies set in the 80s with the younger versions of Cyclops and Jean Grey and Nightcrawler and others who will eventually morph into the ones that appeared in X1, X2, and X3. I swear. Yeah, I think Disney could do something with this. The best way to do it might be to just erase everything and start with a clean slate. Forget the first 3 movies that existed.
Isn't that kind of what I just railed against a few minutes ago?
What do you mean?
With Change.org and their whole, we want everything struck from and not be canon and blah, blah, blah. Well,
that's what I'm saying. X-Men isn't canon anyway. It's only canon to its own universe. It's not canon to the comic books at all.
No.
Ask Stacy. So, what I'm saying...
We don't have time for the 12-day
What I'm saying
lecture.
is that from this point on...
Hi, Stacy.
From this point on, those 3 first X movies, move them over here. Move the Wolverine movies, all 3 of them, over here. Wolverine, Logan, and Origins. Move them over here with the X-Men movies. And consider the generation of First Class the only viable current universe. Mm-hmm. Then you got the 3 in a row that set it in that universe. The First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse. And then go from Apocalypse, and if you want them in the modern Marvel universe, cast people based on those characters. Find somebody that looks like Ty Sheridan in 20 years, and Sophie Turner, and Cody Smith-McPhee. Don't go back to James Marsden, Famke Jensen, Alan Cumming, and so on and so forth. I mean, I think that would be the best way to maintain continuity in the current universe and move it into...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be very convoluted.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
So we've got all these universes to talk about now. We got the Star Wars universe. We got the Marvel universe is affected by the Marvel-Fox, Disney-Fox merger. Mm-hmm. And there's other stuff to come.
And that's even the Marvel TV universe and the Marvel...
Yeah, because the TV and the Netflix are all part of the larger cinematic universe. So the only thing that's still outside the Marvel realm is Spider-Man. Yeah. So.
Oh, it does make your head hurt.
Well, it's not a Star Trek time travel.
Ow.
Oh, no, that's what Tarantino wants to do. Anyway.
No, Tarantino wants to do an effing Star Trek time travel because he wants swearing.
Because he wants to do an R-rated Star Trek film.
Because Tarantino.
Which because is ridiculous because, number one, you rated a Star Trek film R, half your audience is gone right there. Boom, out the door. Parents who want to share Star Trek with their kids will not take a 14-year-old to see an R-rated Star Trek. I just don't think it'll happen. It'll be a bomb. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, these are some of the things that are happening at the end of the year. We'd love to hear your comments on them, too. Drop us a line, subjectcinema@PNRNetworks.com.
The best movies! Subject Cinema!
Want to know what top titles from film and TV are hitting home video this week? Hi, I'm TC Kirkham of Subject Cinema, inviting you to check out Tuesday Digidex, our weekly roundup of all the new home video releases in the U.S. each week. Whether it's DVD, Blu-ray, or streaming you're looking for, we've got it covered. Tuesday Digidex, every Tuesday morning, from Subject Cinema at eCinemaOne.com, a PNR Networks podcast powered by Libsyn. Subscribe on iTunes or your favorite podcast service. Want to know what new films are coming out this weekend? Hi, I'm TC Kirkham of Subject Cinema, inviting you to check out 3 Minute Weekend, our weekly roundup of all the new films hitting U.S. theaters each weekend. We've got the 411 on all the new blockbusters, indies, and video on-demand choices for you each week. 3 Minute Weekend, every Friday morning, from Subject Cinema at eCinemaOne.com, a PNR Networks podcast powered by Libsyn. Subscribe on iTunes or your favorite podcast service.
Your every man's film school. This is Subject Cinema.
Okay, lots of good, interesting stuff going on. We want to keep you abreast of what's going to be happening. We have a lot of stuff happening with the PNR Networks families. Now, first of all, don't forget, if you haven't done so already, to please download the Subject Cinema app. It gives you access to Subject Cinema, Front Row 5 and 10, 3 Minute Weekend, and Tuesday Digidex, all in one app. Mm-hmm. Download that app and spread the word about the app to your friends. I have not been able to get the iTunes app done because it just costs too much. We can't afford it. It's a monthly fee that's way exorbitant for what we can afford. We can do the Android one, so there's an Android one, and we will get an Amazon one up before the end of January. So please take a look at that. If you want us to get the iTunes up there, you need to Patreon us. It's that simple. We have a whole, we don't want you to forget about all of our websites and podcasts and our Patreon campaign. We've been running the Patreon campaign for over a year, and we have one person in it. And we frankly can't operate that way. We need at least people to come on board. Trying to come up with things that will help make this happen, but, you know, it's going to have to be swift. I mean, you guys are going to be in the middle of the mix there. If you want things to happen, you're going to have to Patreon, because we're not going to be able to do anything more than the basic stuff without it. And And we had hoped to bring you better film festival coverage. We hope to do special projects. We hope to upgrade our video stuff, which I'm trying to do anyway without the money. And, you know, we really do need your help. Patreon.com, PNRNetworks. Please donate. It's $2 a month at the minimum level. You can go up higher, and the higher you get, the better the perks get. So please come over and Patreon us. It makes a great Christmas present for us. Now, oh boy, are we going to be busy this week and next. Here we go. We had to rearrange our schedule somewhat because of Kim's sickness and because of our work craziness. So here we go. Today, you got today's show. This is our Star Wars show. Basically, it was supposed to be our Just Because We Can Awards show. That's moved. We'll talk about that in a minute. For the rest of this year, starting this Tuesday, December 26th, and running every day through Monday, December 31st, we will be looking at who we've lost this year in special in memoriam segments available only on the YouTube site at youtube.com/popcorn and roses. If you go over to YouTube, subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to click the bell for notifications on when we do new stuff, because we're going to be doing a lot in the next couple of weeks. So that's starting Tuesday, and it'll be every day. We're going to do 2 months a day for 6 days. Friday, this coming Friday, December 29th, we will be here with a special of our top films of the year. We moved it back a day because we still have to see a couple that we were hoping will be good enough to be on the list. And it's going to be interesting. Next Saturday, December 30th, day and date. Again, YouTube only. A wrap-up of all the awards given so far this season, including the Gotham Awards, all the nominations that are out there with awards that haven't been given yet, like the Golden Globes, and all the Film Critics Awards, in a special video presentation happening Saturday, December 30th. Sunday, December 31st, 1 week from tonight, it's the 13th annual Poppies and Rosies Awards. We're going to have all kinds of fun. We're going to give you all of our main awards for the year, all of our usual stuff, and talk about the year in general. That's 1 week from today. Sorry, I'm trying to stifle a yawn. Sunday, December 31st. Now, moving on to 2018. On Monday, January 1st, we will debut 2 brand new websites for our 2 sites that exist now. Our Boston-centric site, eCinemaBoston, will become a membership site that day. Free membership with more for Patreon perks. And the KirkhamReport.com, my music site, will launch with all new stuff. It's powered by Spotify and playlists and all kinds of stuff, and we hope you guys will come over. On Thursday, January 4th, Front Row 5 and 10 returns with our top 10 movie musicals, Kim's category. That'll be funny. Next weekend, a double feature weekend for Subject Cinema. On Saturday, our Just 'Cause We Can Awards and Subject Cinema number 595. And on Sunday, Subject Cinema number 596, our 2018 preview show with all the upcoming movies, talking about festivals and stuff. The overview of 2018, and that's coming up next weekend on January 6th and 7th. Monday, January 8th, Casino? No. I can't see it! Monday, January 8th, Catastrophe Vortex returns with a new format on a new night. We hope you'll listen. It's not going to be terribly different, but it's going to be shorter, and we hope that you'll enjoy it. If you like disaster movies, come join me every Monday at CatastropheVortex.com, beginning January 8th. On January 9th, this is really, really big for us. Tuesday, January 9th, we will debut the trailer for a new dramatic presentation that we will unveil later in January. The trailer will be available on YouTube and on Patreon, probably, and will be up on January 9th. And this is something that all of us, Cavebabble, Comic Grotto, Kim and I, and all of our associated websites and people have been working on since October. This is a big, big, big thing. So we hope that you will enjoy it. I can't tell you when it's going to premiere. We know the date is going to premiere, but I can't tell you that because it'll kind of give away what it is. On Wednesday, January 10th, Kim's brand new wrestling podcast premieres. It's called Ring Around the Rosie. What are you going to be doing?
Ring Around the Rosie is going to be moi. talking about my 30-plus years as a wrestling fan. I will be giving results for the previous WWE Monday Night Raw. And
Maybe. You
SmackDown.
may or may not, because you've been not that interested in some of it lately.
Well, I can just do a quick rundown of who won, the matches
I
and
suppose,
such.
yeah.
There'll be lists on every once in a while. Mostly my remembrances of the things that I've seen being a wrestling fan. I've seen some I've been lucky enough to see some pretty amazing stuff up close. And also just talking about some of the things that as a wrestling fan, have seen a lot of stuff. And
now, let's explain something. You have been a wrestling fan going back to your teenage years. That's the mid-'80s.
Yep.
So you have 30-plus years of... I'm sorry.
Yeah,
not trying to call you old.
No.
She's classic. Going to go back talking about your memories of this.
Yeah,
these are classic things.
Yeah, I've been a wrestling fan since about 1985. So, it's...
So we're talking almost 35 years here.
And I've been lucky enough and fortunate enough that I've been there live for some amazing things. And I've seen a lot of stuff happen. Some of it's been really good. Some of it's been really bad. Some of it's been really tragic. And I'm going to be talking about all of that in my own style. Hopefully
Which means it will probably not be safe for work.
No. And it will be told from the view of a woman, with a woman's point of view, and a woman's needs, because I have them. Don't judge me. I hope you will also come and check out Platinum Rose's Garden, which
will
is
be
also...
back the next Saturday, right?
Yeah, Sunday. It's on Sundays now.
I'm not sure I like that. I think you should go back to Saturday. Anyway, that's me, though. Anyway.
But you can go over there right now and listen to my review of the most recent episode of Supernatural, The Bad Place. And I hope you will go check that out and tell other people who are Supernatural fans about it. And I hope you will check out Cavebabble, which is from our wonderful friends, the Lion family.
We'll get to those in a minute. I'm not done with the promotions yet.
Sorry.
Before we get to that, two more things on the calendar that we want you to mark your calendar for.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, January 28th, Subject Cinema number 599, our 11th annual Festival of Film Festivals. Mm-hmm. We will cover Sundance, Slamdance, Santa Barbara, Palm Springs, and a few other festivals. All the stuff that's coming, all the stuff we think is going to be buzzy, the stuff we'll be looking for at our Boston festivals coming in March and April, and what you should be watching for too. And then, Sunday, February 4th, knock on wood and hoping we don't get sick or have something else happen, Subject Cinema will celebrate its 600th show.
Wow.
We are now, with that, officially the second longest running film podcast on the planet. Ooh. We have been here for 12 years come June, and it's going to be an amazing thing, and we're just going to talk about it, and we'd love to hear your memories of it too. Plus we'll have the usual stuff, reviews and stuff that week too. Mm-hmm. And that's coming up on February 4th. Now, Cavebabble with Eric and Valerie Lyon doing great stuff every week at Cavebabble. Comic Grotto with Anna and Pee-wee back with brand new shows unexpectedly in December. Year-end reviews, Anthony's rant on Aquaman and Justice League, and a lot of other stuff. Definitely check them out at comicgrotto.com. And as I said, those two guys, a few other people, and the people from Cavebabble have joined with us for this great new dramatic project that we're doing. Mm-hmm. And we hope that you will check it out. Check out the trailer on the 9th of January and the show itself when it's posted later in the month.
Definitely do.
And always check our websites and everything else. And don't forget to like, subscribe,
share,
notify, share. Tell people we're here.
Talk us up.
You know? Because we're here, we've been here serving the masses for 11 and a half years, and about to move into 12 years.
Yeah.
And we're about to give away our 13th annual awards, which is terrifying.
I know. And if you are somebody out there who has a film studio, if you're like an independent studio or something like that, and you'd like someone to give your movie a shout out or something like that, if you're a web series, give us a jingle and let us know you're out there. We'll definitely check you out and talk you up. And
we do the best we can with everybody, and it's great. And we're going to promise you more films and more stuff in the next year. I'm determined to get to my schedule that I've started, and I've even made up a grid and everything. So I have to do things every week, and I'm going to be doing it too.
And on a personal hype note, if you are the type of person that this time of year, a lot of people are home on vacation and whatnot and things. If you've got some free time and you'd like to, do some reading, you can go check out the works of fiction of mine over on fanfiction.net if you're so inclined. You can go over to fanfiction.net and go to their author search and type in Platinum Rose Lady, and you'll find my fiction over there if you'd like to read it. And I also have favorites of other authors. You can go read their stuff if you'd like. And please, if you do read anybody's stuff, please leave them a review, because authors do love reviews, and just a little thing there, because we love reviews, like I said. So hopefully you'll go check out my stuff.
And don't forget to hook up with us everywhere we are on Twitter. She's Platinum Rose L.
Yep.
I'm eCinemaOne or eCinemaBoston TC, and those are the best handles to follow me by.
Yep.
And we're also the podcast if you don't listen on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, but you listen to other places like SoundCloud or anything like that, it ain't going away. Just remember, wherever service you listen to, comment, like, share, and make sure you're notified of everything, because that helps us. We need to see that. It helps us a lot.
Yep.
And it really would be a great deal of help if you did that, and also hooked up with our Patreon. 2018 is going to be a great year, I hope, and we'll talk more about this year, this week, on all kinds of different stuff. Don't forget to be here Friday, Saturday, Sunday for our big extravaganza weekend, saying goodbye to the year.
Yeah.
And every day on YouTube for our memorial segment.
Yeah. And now we should come to the part of the show where we do talk about the fact that as we're recording this, it is Christmas Eve.
It is Christmas Eve.
And we hope that everybody out there who celebrates has a very happy, healthy Christmas.
If you don't celebrate, we hope you have a very nice day as well. Also, if you're celebrating Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Festivus, or anything else
Winter
at that time.
solstice, well, you already did that. But
but it's all part of the same season. We hope it's been good or will be good for you. We're an all-inclusive show.
We try to be. And just remember that if you have a roof over your head, if you have food in your stomach, you've got a great gift right there. And if you have people around you that you love, you have the greatest gift of all, and you don't need a receipt for it.
So on that note, it's time to head out. For Subject Cinema, I'm T.C. Kirkham.
I'm Kim Brown.
May your popcorn always be buttered.
And may your roses always be in bloom.
TTFN.
Merry Christmas!
You have been listening to Subject Cinema with hosts T.C. Kirkham and Kim Brown. Subject Cinema is produced by PNRNetworks, Boston, Massachusetts, which is solely responsible for its content. Subject Cinema theme performed by Eric Lyon. Subject Cinema is recorded and produced using Sony Vegas products. Subject Cinema is copyright 2017 by PNRNetworks under a Creative Commons license. Check out a new episode of Subject Cinema every weekend. Until next time, this is Bob Taylor for Subject Cinema, and we'll see you at the movies.
That's all.
Podcasting's choice. From coast to coast, continent to continent, right here 24/7.